Cold brew coffee is made by steeping coarsely ground coffee beans in cold water, but for how long? I'm comparing two methods, a traditional 15-hour steep and a device that takes just 15 minutes. Then I'm serving the coffees to a panel of blinded tasters to see if we can reliably tell these two coffees apart. Hey, my name's Martin Keane, and let's talk cold brew, which is a process that's all about slow extraction. The idea being that steeping coffee for an extended time results in a smoother, less acidic coffee with a naturally sweet flavor. So, what happens if you radically speed that process up? Well, I'm using this battery-powered device that uses vacuum extraction and a pump that claims to produce cold brew coffee as strong as traditional methods. So I had to give this a test. And let's start with the traditional method. Now, for both coffees, I'm using beans from Club Colombian, a Coffee of the Month club, who sent me a single origin bean from Burundi. I'm using this cold brew carafe set, which includes a metal filter to which I added 85 grams of coarsely ground coffee and plunged that into a litre of cold filtered water. I gave the coffee grinds a good stir to make sure they were well hydrated, sealed it up, and placed it in my fridge for 15 hours. The next day, with the filter removed, I poured a glass and noticed that it was a good deal darker than the batch that I'd extracted over 15 minutes, which I took as being a good sign that these cold brews would be easily distinguishable by taste. Now, I'll get to how I made the 15-minute cold brew in a moment, but let's jump ahead to see one of the triangle tests. Now, here's how they work. Each participant receives 3 different coloured cups, coloured so that visual differences will not be obvious. 2 of the cups contain the same coffee and the other cup contains the second coffee. So maybe 2 15-hour cold brews and 1 15-minute cold brew, or 2 15-minute cold brews and 1 15-hour cold brew. You get the idea. The challenge is for participants to sample each cup, then declare which coffee is the odd one out. It's harder than you think. So we tried this 3 times. Here's attempt number 1. I have Norm from the Brewosophy show and my father, who's agreed to give this a go as well. Yep. All right, so let's give him a taste.
Okay.
And then we'll take a guess.
Smells like coffee. I'm not smelling a difference.
Without saying, do we all think we have a decision?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we are all on the count of 3 going to push for the one coffee that we think is the odd coffee out.
Okay. All right.
All right. 1, 2, 3. What is the answer?
Grey.
Grey is the odd one out.
Grey is the odd one out.
Well done, Mark.
Well
Yeah.
done. I thought those two had a stronger taste, a stronger coffee flavour.
Right.
And that taste thinner, I thought.
That was exactly the same. I thought this one had a milder finish than these two.
That's really amazing.
So this was the 15-minute one?
This was the 15-hour one. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So these were the 15-minute ones. Oh, interesting. Okay.
Wow.
Well, anyone can make a mistake once.
Right.
Let's do this again. Yeah, pretty inconclusive so far. So what about this 15-minute cold brew maker? Well, the website's it's a little bit vague on exactly how it works. They call it rapid cold brew technology that uses advanced vacuum extraction and a powerful pump. And I have to say, it puts on quite a show. Now, here's how it works. I added 22 grams of the same coarsely ground Club Colombian coffee to the filter. I then screwed that filter on top of the device and placed that into the provided cup, which contained 350 milliliters of water. That 22 grams of coffee to 350 milliliters of water was the ratio recommended by the manufacturer to achieve results similar to traditional cold brew. Then I pushed the start button and watched the show. The brewing water level would rise, fall, and bubble, and the coffee was clearly being rapidly extracted. And in case you're wondering, there's a 1,200 milliamp hour battery built into the device that is powered to make 10 batches of cold brew per charge. It's pretty neat. All right, we're going to try this again.
Round 2. I'm going to spend more time with my nose in the glass this time.
Boy, sniff the more confused I get.
Exactly.
Right.
I really thought I had it last time, but it tastes less different this time.
Well, I felt like I was pretty certain until I just took my last sip from the gray mug, and now I feel less certain, but I'm sticking with my original impression.
So on 3, we'll push for the one we think is the odd one out.
This is going to be interesting.
1, 2, 3.
Oh. And we've got a difference of opinion again.
Okay, so we got 2 for grey, 1 for red.
And I'm probably wrong. Coffee's not my strong suit.
Well, let's see. What is it? It's grey.
Okay. Good job,
I
guys.
don't know if
No.
that was luck or judgment.
Can I make a guess as to which the grey is? I believe the grey is the 15-minute.
Yes.
Yes. All right.
Smoother.
Well done.
It's smoother.
Now, triangle tests like these come down to establishing if there is statistical significance. If participants were just randomly guessing, they'd get it right about 1/3 of the time. To say that participants can reliably distinguish the coffees and thus achieve statistical significance, in 9 triangle tests, we'd need to get it right 6 times. Which means we need a perfect score in this final round.
You think there is something on the aroma?
I thought so.
Because you never got it right.
I haven't gotten it right, so who can say? But yeah, I thought I could distinguish something in the aroma.
We really need a good result here
Okay.
to prove that we can tell a difference.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, so on 3, put forward the cup that you think is the odd coffee. Out.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
And that is not because it's been gray the 2 times before. It just happened to be this time. I thought the gray one. And have I pushed the middle one every time? I can't remember.
We're going for the red.
Should have gone for the red. Yep.
It's red.
So you
red.
guys obviously have a skill for this that I do not possess.
And red is the 15-hour. Yeah, okay.
Wow.
So, okay, so I think you got it right 2 out of 3 times.
2 out of 3.
Right? I got it right 3 out of 3, and I think I
I'm-
can pretty reliably distinguish which is which as well.
Yeah.
And you were
I'm 0 for.
unfortunate 0 for 3.
I'm 0 for. Yeah.
So take what you will from that. Do you have a preference for the 15-hour or the 15-minute if you knew which was which?
For me, no, because obviously my palate can't distinguish anything between the 2.
No, I'd be hard pushed to know. If you gave me 2, I wouldn't know that they were different, I don't think. And because we're really trying to distinguish some sort of
Right.
difference here.
Right.
But normally, if you gave me a cup of coffee of either one, I'd be quite happy with that.
Yeah, yeah. For me, I do have a strong preference. Well, not strong, because there's not a huge difference between these 2 coffees. I think we've proven that. But to me, I preferred the milder taste of the 15-minute brew. The 15-hour just had a little bit more bitterness on the edge,
That makes
which
sense.
might be good if you were mixing it with a bit of milk or something like that. But just as a straight up black cold brew coffee, I
Right.
think I would actually prefer the 15-minute one.
So collectively, we didn't reach statistical significance, but anecdotally, I did feel like I could easily distinguish these coffees every time. And yeah, I did kind of prefer the 15-minute version. I'll certainly be making more cold brew coffee this way in the future. Now, what about making cold brew in a mason jar versus a Chemex? Well, we also tested that method, and you can watch that video right here.